Right off the bat, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going up, like she was saying. Your utility bills are gonna go up because somebody up there said it costs more. Even though we have wells all around us, we have gas coming out of the ground around here, our electric bills are gonna be 200. They've gone up by probably, I'm guessing, when you renew your contract, if you haven't done your contract, it's gonna go up by 40 to 50%. You're lucky if you haven't renewed it, but all the electric companies are gonna renew it. The garbage is gonna go up, because there's garbage costs more. I mean, you gotta pay somebody to take the garbage. I understand all that. I'm just saying it costs more. And on electricity, we could do something more innovative on electricity, like invest in a solar farm. Some people don't like that, but there are things you could do. There's a lot of things you could do for the city to improve itself, but I think the question that I kind of have is, when you increase things, you have to be more transparent on why you increase things. And you know, I mean, the city has the same problem of communicating as the county. Like, for example, in this excellent letter that Fred wrote, city manager, okay, we have a public information officer. Not sure what that, I know what the person does, but it just seems like a lot of money for a small town. $97,000, maybe it's more than two. A service center, $330,000, went up by 146%. And then, of course, you have garbage, which will always go up because we're at the mercy of San Antonio, and they have that. But I think the real issue that I have is, what are we doing to mitigate and reduce our taxes? A lot of cities and governments, the way they do it, everybody sets, here's the money we need, and they set the budget, and then that's what the tax base should be. It's not the other way around. You got to ask the question is, if you were to cut the tax rate by 0.01 or 0.02, what's the impact? I didn't hear that. I just heard that we need to increase it to pay all these bills. But what if you don't increase it? What are the potential impacts if you, and the county did the same, the county did the same thing. They just do the same thing, so now you have a school, you have a county, so they all line up and say, we need to pay our teacher. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying they need to at least articulate it and say, okay, do you want more trash or do you want more potholes? I mean, nobody wants that, but if you did cut the tax rate, it would create more garbage, more potholes. But did you ask the populations and the council, is that acceptable? And I don't think you did. I think the process went, hey, we have all these bills, we have all these dollars that are needed because all the deputies says they need this money, and city manager says we need this money, and all I'm saying, that's okay. But what if you did cut the rate? What would be the impact? And the city's done an excellent job of, you've eliminated 5 positions. I'm not saying it didn't sound right. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying you've been very diligent and prudent. Sometimes governments forget that you're here to serve. It's not the other way. It's not the other way around. You're here to serve the community. And if you don't need to serve, then you don't need as many people employed, or you don't need as much services. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I think you should ask the question. Thank you very much.
Council,
Ms. Gonzalez, you,
just quickly, I did look up your charter. Section 11.04 specifically governs public hearings and is silent as to the time limitations. The kick-in provision would be section 2-20, which is the rules of courtesy that limit public hearing to 3 minutes, except if the chair decides to acknowledge them for additional time with a max limit of 30 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. That's all I'm aware of that. Thank you.
Chair, would you like an additional?
No, sir.
Okay. Is there any other citizen that would like to speak? Okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing on item 6B. It is now 6:24? And we're gonna move right into our budget aspect at this point, which is 6:24. We will open up a public hearing on the City of Pearsall's proposed annual appropriation budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023. This is a public hearing. Is there any citizen that would like to speak?
What's the difference between that one and the previous?
Well, this was the tax rate, this is the budget. This is the whole budget.
Oh, so in the budget, you're asking about the line items.
Yes.
Everything.
Tax rate, the tax rate's one item, and then the budget itself is another item.
The only error that I saw was the comment about confusing sanitation fund and utility fund.
I can see that.
So in your letter, you said utility, but then you said later on, oh, that's sanitation. So there's really three funds, the general fund, utility fund, and sanitation fund. But then on you combined it, and I was confused, like, what, so what is a utility?
Right. It's, well, you're right, in the fact that, I'll speak a little bit to that, just that I can. There's two funds. There's a utility fund, which is fund, we call Fund 35, and then there's a general fund, which is a general fund, which is, fund that we have to project with is Fund 100. But there's two funds. The garbage fund is incorporated into the utility fund. So for utilities, we have trash, water, wastewater, and gas. So I hope that helps.
Okay. We're still in public session. Any other citizen wish to speak?
Mayor, did we close the public hearing at a time, the first one?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Okay, there's no other citizen wishing to speak. I'm gonna call a close to the public hearing section of 6D, and that will be at 6:26.
Mayor, I have a comment on that.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Well, I just wanted to say, on my thoughts of the budget, it's very hard to approve a budget because a budget has been allocated with the increase of taxes. It's not a final say-so, and I wish we would have had two budgets to consider. One budget without the tax increase, and then the budget with the tax increase, to be able to give an accurate standing on why we're voting for what. Us council members sitting up here, when you make a vote, you have to make a vote with facts, with numbers that are accurate. In accounting, it's either black or it's white. There's no in between. And with that being said, I agree with the people that did talk today, is that just because the masks are gone, we're still in a pandemic. Inflation's at its highest. A mother of 5, a family of 7, buying food for the week is not easy. And we're here to serve our community. We're not a business. We're here to give to our community. And with that being said, I'm against the budget and I'm against the tax rates.
Council, I'm going to ask that you consider moving item 7M up to this point. We've got our insurance representatives here, and that would enable them to answer questions and not sit through the whole agenda. So if you're in favor of that, we have a motion and a second approval to move item 7M to the forefront. There's a motion by Councilwoman Hernandez. There's a second?
A second.
Second by Councilman Nanda. All in favor? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, at this point, we're gonna go to item 7M. Discuss and consider authorizing the city manager to award, enter into, and execute agreement with United Healthcare and Mutual Omaha for medical, dental, vision, and other ancillary insurance benefits for the fiscal year 2022, 2023. This is an action item. Can I ask for a motion? Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Gonda. We have a second. Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. At this point, I'll turn the floor over to Fred.
Mayor and Council, in your packet on page 43, you have supporting memo for changes. Well, really, there's not very many changes. Let me rephrase that, to the insurance plan for the city. So you'll find, again, on page 43, and I have Javier de Cara here, who are consultants for health insurance. And so I'll let them speak to any questions the council may have. I believe you have a packet there in front of you. They're probably better off going off the packet, I would assume. So I'll turn it over to them if you have any questions regarding health benefits for city employees.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Manager, and members of the council. My name is Javier Guevara, and this is Kara Collins. I represent Southwest Business Corporation, and we're brokers that are consultants rather that look at your benefit plans and try to come with the best plans possible at the least expensive rates. I'm happy to report to you some good news, and we're talking about all these increases. And the packet in front of you, I'll summarize briefly, and if you have any questions, be happy to go over it. The main plan, the medical plan, the core plans that are offered to the employees of the city of Pearsall will have no rate increase. So it stays as is. There will be no plan changes to achieve that no rate increase. It'll stay exactly like it is today. There was some negotiations between our firm and United Healthcare. We're talking about the pandemic. The insurance companies are fully aware of the pandemics and the fact that when people end up in a hospital, it just costs money, and the underwriters are building in these factors as they renew these medical plans. So they initially came out with a 6% rate increase, and we basically told them that would be unacceptable, and we went to negotiate and maybe twist their arms a little bit, well, I might say a lot, and we got them to give us a no rate increase. So that's the good news on that part, and that's where the city makes a contribution on behalf of the employees to help make these premiums possible or more affordable, if I may say. In the packet, I've included the detail of what the plans are and the fact that they didn't change, and it gives you the deductibles and the co-insurance and all that good stuff. That's good reading for a Saturday afternoon, but if you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'll go back into the other parts, the other plans that are also offered with the medical plan. And the purpose of the ancillary plans are just to make more plans available that might be needed by the employees. And not all the employees will participate, but they can pick and choose the ones that they personally need. So there is no expense to the city on these plans. They're strictly voluntary, but it makes for a better package. Some may not want any, but some may need the dental, some may need accident. Some may need to want to buy some more insurance to cover their mortgages or something like that. So we make all those plans available to them. And I'm happy to report that only the dental plan, which had a lot of utilization, meaning there was a lot of claims compared to the premium, so we had a slight increase. That one came up to about 7%, and we tried to negotiate a zero increase with them as well. And unfortunately, as the best we could have done was to, they offered, well, if you offer another voluntary benefit, we will reduce that increase from 7 to 4.9%. That is better than the 7%, so that sits on the table, and we'll probably end up with that. None of the other plans that we have online here, which are the life insurance, the disability plans, the long-term disability plans, the accident critical illness, none of those plans, they're under rate guarantees. So when we wrote them a couple of years ago, they're still under rate guarantee. Some have it until 2023 and some until 2024. So again, good news in that the expense for those plans for the employees to purchase will not be any more than what they had before. Now, that in a nutshell represents or summarizes what the package that we provided to you. I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you don't have any questions, that's the
the summary of what the employee benefit plans looks like for the upcoming year. And that would be effective on October 1st of this year.
Mayor, I have a question for Federico.
Yes, Councilwoman.
We have just a 7% increase in the dental, what you said?
Yes.
And is that already budgeted in the budget?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the increase compared to last year, a number?
It wasn't a negatives. It wasn't a negatives last year, it actually
Yes.
saved some money.
Yes, that's the number I wanted, okay. I have no other questions.
Okay, council, any other questions? All right, we've got a motion and a second on item 7N. Hearing no other questions, I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor of awarding this contract, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, moving to item 7A, this is not an action item. Chief, how you doing? This is about the National Night Out. Fred, I'm gonna turn the floor over to you.
Yes, I had invited the chief to this meeting just to kind of go over the National Night Out and really to kind of just, I know we have a big schedule in October. As far as council goes, if you recall, we have a meeting, I think we have our conference October. And so I think this date, if I'm not mistaken, falls on October 4th. We've been helping, I believe, Bianca's been helping with the advertising. I believe Chief will be at the meeting. And any other participation that the council would want to see at the National Night Out. Traditionally, historically, I think it's been held by the fire department. We are, as best we can, we're trying to incorporate police activity to this event because it is really a combination of fire and police participation. But we'd ask everybody, all the council members, to please participate. We've never done a blue light. I don't think it's support. Well, maybe we have, maybe years back, but I don't think there's been anything done since I've been here. So it may be a good idea to do something, showing support for the police and the fire department. So that is on October the 4th, which I believe falls on a Tuesday. So I just wanted to make sure. Again, I don't know if Placido, he was invited, and I guess he just couldn't make it.
That, just so that you guys know, that is the night that we're going to look at moving our city council meeting.
Yes.
For that night.
I think we were asking for the
Change of the council meetings for October 3rd, Mayor. We took that into account. So it's October 3rd, which would fall on a Monday.
Okay, good. All right, that's just an FYI, council. Now moving on to item 7B, discuss and consider a request for the Rotary Club of Pearsall for the use of the city tourism visit building. This is an action item. As you guys know, the Rotary Club has a Rotary auction. I think it's like 150 years old or something like that. A long time. But they have requested that they use one of our buildings, so we're going to let Dr. Gorham speak in a minute, but this is an action item. I'll ask for a motion in a second. Motion by Councilwoman Talamantes, a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ganda. Doc, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Again, I'm Dr. Robert Gorham, and Tony Fedez is the Rotary Club president this year. And the flyer that he's passing around actually has the correct date on the letter that was submitted to Mr. Reyes. We had the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it's actually the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that was my mistake. I apologize for that. But what we're requesting is to use the old chamber office, which is the tourism building there across the street from my office. We've been at the bank, we've been in Mr. Sinden's office, and this year, through everything that's happened, we're out on the street. And so we wanted to request using that building if we could for those 3 nights to house the auction. Many of you know what goes on. This is a fundraiser for the Rotary Club. Basically, we need a place to set up our screens, our cameras, phones, and that's how we project onto the internet. And that's where we're looking at. We would certainly get the phones back in order accordingly, and I think Brandon Brown is more than happy to deal with us on that. And we just need the location.
And folks, these guys have probably given a scholarship to every college-bound and trade school-bound student in Pearsall and Frio County. So somewhere around 3,000 to 5,000 a year.
Actually, last year, we awarded 7,000 in scholarships between Dilly and Pearsall. And we've been able to do that pretty consistently now for a couple of years.
Well, thank you so much for that effort. We've got a motion, second, hearing no other questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and next item on the agenda is item 7C. Discuss and consider the request made by the Pearsall ISD for additional funds for the repair of the Pearsall Public School under current memorandum of understanding